In this video, we are going to be focusing on the features and functions of the 6.5-inch TFT screen that's going to give us information about the bike, the speed, the revs, but equally give us the information when we've connected either to Apple CarPlay or to Android Auto. Now, in this example, we're going to be using the NT1100. Let's get going. Turn the ignition on. There we are, so just powering on and you'll see the lovely NT1100 logo on there. And in a moment, we'll get a little disclaimer that'll just come up on the screen for us to read. And if we're okay with that, you get the option to either tap on the screen or press the enter button. And this potentially could be the first screen that you see. So we do have different modes. I'll just scroll through those using the information buttons on the left-hand switchgear. At the moment, we're in Tour. If we push that, we'll go through Urban, we've got Rain, and then we'll get two user modes, so User 1 and User 2. So let's go back to where we started, and we have Tour mode. So this is giving us the time at the top, the external temperature, rev counter through there, speed, you can see all the information, and we have 4 little columns of information, and all we do, if we want to scroll through those, so we can see we've got trip A, average consumption, average speed, and consumption is in the column there. If we go to tab 2, we've got trip B, average consumption, average speed and consumption for trip B. On 3, again, we've got extra things like range, we've got the voltage of the battery and the date, and in level 4, we can start tailoring some of the information that we see at the bottom. So in Tour mode, your P is power, EB is engine brake, and your T is for Honda selectable torque control. Now, the more blue lines you've got on there, the more intervention or the more assistance that the bike is going to be giving you. So you're in Tour mode, and we just have one bar. This is going to give you full power mode. In engine braking, so we're in level 2. It's a perfect setting, but what we can do is if you want to allow a little less slip or a little more slip on the rear wheel, you can change that. So level 1, that will allow a small amount of slip on the rear wheel when you're driving through the torque. If we push the enter button, that will take us into the Honda selectable torque control, then we can switch to have more assistance, up to 3, which will allow the smallest amount of slip from the rear wheel. But I'm quite happy with how the bike has been set up. We'll leave that there. And we would just press back to get us out of that menu. And again, we can scroll through all of those different columns. Next, we have our Urban mode. Less information on here now, but you've still got all the information that you'd want to be seeing. You've got your fuel gauge on there, as you can see, the rev counter and speed, and slightly different settings now in the Urban mode from the factory. So we're now on level 2 for power. So level 2 means it's slightly tamed the power coming out of the motor. We're still in level 2 for engine brake, and we're on level 1 for the Honda selectable torque control. Next mode, in Rain, as you would imagine, the power has been reduced. So we've got maximum intervention from the bike, and we've got 3 blue lines on there, making it a more comfortable situation when we're driving in the rain, reducing all that power and torque from the motor. And we're in level 1 for the Honda selectable torque control. And again, if you wanted to, that could be modified. User 1 and User 2, to actually modify those, we'd go into our settings screen. Now, all you would do is pull this little button towards us. It will take us into the settings menu. So we actually want to scroll down to get settings. We push the enter button and we can see function, display, general. We actually want function, so we're going to press the enter button. In a moment, we'll go into user modes, but while we're here, you can actually see this is the area where you would turn off the auto cancelling indicators. By default, they're set to on. So again, makes it really nice for a touring machine. It'll automatically do that for you. But in user modes, let's go into there. We've got user 1 and user 2. Let's set up our user 1 menu, straight into there. And this is where we can actually adjust our levels. And these will be then saved for each individual setting. So we're happy with those. So to come back out of that, we'll just pull that towards us And we'll see for user 1, we now have the power and the engine braking in level 2, just like we've set. We could change the Honda selectable torque control as well if we wished. And user 2, different look, but we could have 2 different settings there, bespoke, depending whether you're by yourself or if you've got a pillion with you. Also, we have this mode. Let's go back to our original tour that we were on. That's a nice white background to it. You may prefer a darker background. So if again we pull that towards us, we go into our settings, and if we go into display now, this is where we can change display mode, the brightness, and we actually want background. It's set to auto, but we can go into that and we can turn it off. Then all we do, we select black if we want that all the while, enter there, pull that towards us, and we get the dark screen there. So you can have it that it changes with the light, the ambient light, or you can have it always set to white, always set to black, entirely your choice. Information on there is always the same though. It's just the background color that changes. Now, one of the beautiful things that you can do with this machine is you can connect it to your phone. So in this instance, we will connect it to an iPhone. So we just plug that into the USB that's at the front of the bike. And first things we need to do now, because it knows we're trying to connect to Apple CarPlay, is that we need to pair a Bluetooth headset. If we don't, it won't let us use it. So we can just tap onto there to pair a Bluetooth device. We're going to add a device, make sure that my headset is in ready to be paired mode. And once it's found it, we just select it. Again, you could do this off the switchgear, but we just select that there. And what we're going to do is we're going to enable the system to use it. And we're going to remember the choices so we don't have to do that each time. And we're nice and happy with that. Now, straight away, we're connected to Apple CarPlay, and if we go to our main screen, we can see that we've got Apple CarPlay. Nice and simple. Now, when you're riding along, you could be using the switchgear here as you would, but it is also touch screen as well. So you have all of the relevant apps that would be useful while you're riding. So you've got your phone, you've got your Apple Music in this instance, you've got your Apple Maps, your messages, it can read those out for you. The Honda icon, that would actually take you, if you selected that, that would take you back to the main page. So if we just swipe across, it will bring up our next page. So we've got our Google Maps in this instance, we've got our calendar on there. You can have your WhatsApp, your Waze, and all you would do, just if you wanted to select it using the controls on the left-hand side, you would just enter into Waze, and you can again use the little buttons on here to search. So we're on the magnifying glass just on the top left-hand corner. Enter into that. It's going to look at our previous destinations. So if we need to do a little bit of shopping, that's just going to go straight into there. No problem at all. It will calculate our route, and of course we're going to see that on the screen, and we're going to get the information through our Bluetooth headset. If for any reason you want to use a different type, then clearly you can do that. You can just tap on, and we've got all the different Google Maps on there as well. Same information. The great thing here is that if the customer knows how to use their iPhone, they know how to use CarPlay on the NT1100 or any of our bikes that have that system, because it's using aspects of their own phone that they're used to, but projecting it onto a nice, safe screen in front of them, and it will only work when you're Bluetooth connected to a headset. If we want to go back to the main screen on the bike, we would just pull that little lever towards us and we're back into our tour mode. But any music we've got playing would be in the background, and any notifications for turnings actually would come up for us as well. A great system. Now we'll show you Android Auto. So plug in Android phone. Android Auto is going to be connected there. So now we're on the home page, and we can see we've got Google Maps up there and some of our music that we can be choosing to play, and you can use the left-hand switch gear to go onto your settings. So just in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen here on Android Auto, push the enter button. Honda would just take you to the main page back on your machine, and we could either touch Google Maps, or if we're riding along, we can nice and easily just select through, press on to enter. Now, if we're wanting to head into work, we'd just push down because it's a frequently used destination, tap onto there, and it will load that up for us, no problem at all. And we'll get clear information in front of us. And of course, because we've got our Bluetooth headset connected, my directions are going to come through my headset. Just to give you an idea of some of the things on the screen as well, if we go back to our home page, you can start your music playing. And if you wanted to stop it while you're riding along, you just push back onto the enter button there. So a really easy and simple system to use to keep you fully informed on the go. If we tap onto all apps there, you can see that we've got our messages and messenger. So if anything pops up while we're riding along, we can hear those messages. And you've even got access to WhatsApp on there as well. And you can see all of the different apps that you have access to. So all the ones that are safe to be using while you're riding along. And if we go into WhatsApp there, we could actually see there are no new messages, but if we wanted to, we could verbally compose one to somebody. But we'll go back to our maps and our home screen as we're heading off to work. And when you power this off, you also have a nice little symbol. You'll get the Honda wings when you finish your journey, power off, and you get that as your farewell. Thank you for watching this video on the NT1100. If you'd like more information, then please visit honda.co.uk.